Hi everyone, this is Dave, and in today's video we're taking a look at one of the very latest hard drives from G Technology. This is the G-RAID with Thunderbolt 3. This is available in various capacities all the way up to 24 terabytes. This particular one is 16 terabytes, and across the range we've got varying speeds up to 500 megabytes per second, so plenty fast enough to actually edit 4K video direct off the drive. Now this particular one, let me show you the product packaging first of all. It's a really nicely designed box. I love the colouring on this, and it gives you some details about some of the main features of the product, and then round on the back it gives you a diagram of the hard drive itself. But we don't need to look at that because we've actually got the hard drive, and this is what the G-RAID looks like. It's a really impressive build quality. It's an all metal enclosure, really nice design on the front here as well, and just look at this flap has got like a little catch closure on it, and then it opens up to reveal the user accessible drive. So these are 3.5-inch SATA drives in here. In this particular model they are 8 terabytes each, and I've got this set up in a RAID 0 configuration. Now RAID 0 will actually write data to both drives, so I've got a total of 16 terabytes capacity, and that gives me the best performance, but it doesn't give me any data redundancy. So if one of these drives did fail, then I could replace it. I've got really easy access to them, and this just clips closed, looks absolutely fantastic. We've got some branding on the side of this all metal enclosure, and it just really does exude quality. Round on the back here we can see all of the connections. We can also see here there is a tiny little fan. Now the fan is audible, but it's not obtrusive at all. It's very, very quiet during the operation. You'll get to hear that in a short while because I'm going to do a speed test for you in this very video. So let's take a closer look at the rest of the back of the drive. We've got a little hole here. This is where we can put a Kensington lock, and we can actually tether this to a desk. We've also got 2 Thunderbolt 3 ports. So this is Thunderbolt 3. And these enable you to actually daisy chain up to 6 devices. So one of these would be connected to your computer, and the other one you could daisy chain additional hard drives. We've also got a very useful HDMI port, and this supports 4K up to 60 Hertz. And then we've also got this one here, which is USB-C, and this is USB 3.1 Gen 2. Now the reason that USB-C port is important to me is that I like to do backups of my data on a regular basis, so I can connect a USB-C hard drive, and because this supports Gen 2 I get up to 10 gigabits per second data throughput, which means a lot faster backups. So that's a really good port to have on there. Now you can't daisy chain off of the USB-C, you can only daisy chain devices off of the Thunderbolt 3 port. Now moving back to the rear of the G-RAID, we've also got a button here. This is the main power on off button. Again, this is metal, really nicely engineered. And then last but not least, we've got the input for the power supply that's included inside the box. Now also inside the box we do get some cables. We get a USB-C to USB-A cable, which is used for if you're connecting this to an older computer. And then you also get the cable that I'm going to use in this particular speed test, and this is a USB-C connector on both ends. And I'm going to be connecting this to my late 2016 Retina MacBook Pro. This is the 15-inch model, the one with the touch bar. I'm going to be doing a speed test for you very shortly. Before I do that, I do just want to touch on these 2 pieces of paper that come inside the box. Now the first one, this one here, is the 5-year warranty. That is a really good lengthy warranty, especially on a product that you're using for your data. And then this little leaflet here is a quick start guide, but it is super easy to set up. I don't think you'll need to really look at that, but it is there if you do need it for reference. So now let's get this plugged in. So we put the power in first, connect up the Thunderbolt 3 cable, and then we hit the power button. And whilst this is starting up, I'll just stop speaking so you can hear the noise that's generated by that tiny little fan, and of course the hard drive spinning inside the enclosure. So as you can tell, that's hardly noticeable. I can hear a very slight hum from that fan. but that wouldn't really be of any issue to me using this within the editing room. Even if I was doing some voiceovers and recording some audio, I would have no issue with having this in the same room. So now let's move over to the MacBook Pro, and we're going to do this disk speed test. And I'm using Blackmagic Design's disk speed test software. So the first thing we're going to do is just select the target drive and just make sure we are on the G-RAID, and we click that start button. And you can see here we have got a write speed of 337.3 megabytes per second and a read speed of 364 megabytes per second. We let this go through a couple of cycles so we get a rough average. You can see on the third test, on the write speed, we're getting 362.9 megabytes per second, and on the read speed, 360.7 megabytes per second. So a little bit short of the expected speed of this particular capacity, which is I think 400 megabytes per second, but more than acceptable and good enough to actually edit some video direct off of this drive. So let's do that now. Let's start my Final Cut Pro application. So I've loaded up one of my Final Cut Pro libraries, which is stored on the G Technology G-RAID, and everything looks absolutely fine. Scrubbing through the video, no problem at all. And if I hit play, we've got no dropped frames. It is just working like a dream. Even adding things like transitions and just scrubbing through the timeline, everything works as I would expect. So I have got no issues at all recommending this as a really good solution for both external storage or indeed a project work drive. If you work on the likes of videos or photos, then this is a really great solution. It's got great performance, a great feature set, and it's all backed up by that fantastic 5-year warranty. This is the G Technology G-RAID. If you've got any questions at all, please do drop them down in the comment section below. Also, check out the links below as well, where you can pick up one of these for yourself. Thank you very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Don't forget to hit that like button, and I'll see you in another video very soon.